Hey guys, Money with Yumi here, where I talk about anything and everything related to money and how to grow your wealth. Welcome to part 2 of my 10 stocks to buy right now, and in this video I'll share with you 5 stocks that are under $15, and let's just get right into it. So the 6th stock and the first of the 5 stocks under $15 is Voyager Digital, and they're a trading platform for cryptocurrency. And it is one of my riskier stocks, and I know it. And the stock recently crashed from a high of $27 to $1 here today because of the crypto crash. And they got a cease and desist order from the SEC for its interest-earning cryptocurrency product from New Jersey, Indiana, Kentucky, and Oklahoma. So yes, that's going to affect Voyager's growth and profits, but it doesn't mean that their entire US business is going to get shut down. I think people just read the headlines and didn't go in depth into the cease and desist order and just assume that it applies to every state in the US. I've not only bought this stock, but also the VGX coin, which dropped to about $1.20 a couple months ago and down again recently to 50 cents. What I like about it is there are 3 ways to earn money with VGX. So the first is the price of the coin. The higher it gets, the more money you make. And the second is the interest earned by holding this coin, which is 7% annually that is paid monthly and compounded. So that's really nice. And the third is boosting your overall rewards by an additional percentage. So depending on the number of VGX coins you hold, that could be an additional 0.5% boost to 1.5%. And while crypto has been dead for a few months now, with Bitcoin dropping from $30,000 to $20,000, the Russia and Ukraine situation provided some relevance to cryptocurrency, right? Like this. Ukraine turned to cryptocurrencies to fund its military fight against Russia. And you know, with a strong leadership where the CEO, Steve Ehrlich, had years of experience at E-Trade, an online trading platform, it's just a matter of time before Voyager expands into the stock market and allow its users to buy stocks directly with crypto. And like I mentioned before, this is a riskier stock because it is so dependent on how crypto or Bitcoin is performing and how hyped up the crypto market is. So it's going to be a small position for me, and it is for the long term. And I only have about like 1 to 2% of my net worth in anything crypto related. And I don't recommend going in too heavy either. So the 7th on this list and the 2 of the 5 stocks under $15 to buy is Planet 13. Let's take a look at how the stock is doing. Oh boy, this is bad. It crashed so much from its all-time highs because the hype for grass stock has fallen off the rails. And it's not just Planet 13, but the entire grass industry. Probably because federal legalization might not happen as soon as what people expect, and then there's inflation, rising transportation costs like gas prices, so on and so forth. And with the economy opening up, there's an assumption that people will use the product less, kind of similar to the tobacco and alcohol industry. Regardless of what's expected to happen and what's expected to not happen, I'm still buying this stock, guys. And right now I'm being a hoarder and just stocking up. And they're also set to open 3 superstores in Florida and 1 in Illinois, so stay tuned. And guys, they just posted some really strong numbers for the last quarter. Let's take a look. Revenues are up, gross profits are slightly lower, net income is finally positive, net loss is down. Look at this. Revenues were $25.7 million as compared to $23.8 million, an increase of 8%. Gross profit was $12.9 million or 50.2% as compared to $13 million or 54.7%. Net income before taxes of $0.7 million as compared to a net loss of $2.7 million. A net loss of $2.1 million as compared to a net loss of $6 million. Adjusted EBITDA of $2.6 million as compared to adjusted EBITDA of $5.1 million. Cash of $62.1 million as compared to $61.6 million. Total assets of $274 million as compared to $216 million. Total liabilities of $41.2 million as compared to $43.1 million. So more cash on hand, more assets, total liabilities are lower, yet the stock is near its 52-week low, probably because they diluted the shares, but for it to be at its 52-week lows despite performing well financially, you gotta be kidding me, right? So this is another easy buy for me. If it keeps dropping, I'll keep buying. and number 8 on this list, and the third of 5 stocks under $15 that I'll buy is Oatly. Someone actually messaged me on Instagram last year asking me if I'm interested in buying Oatly, and at that time I think it was like $11 to $12, and I said no, but maybe if it's under $7. And guys, it is under $4 here today. They have a wide range of products from oat milk to yogurt to ice cream. Oatly, like many other plant-based food companies, got hit hard because of supply chain issues, increased transportation costs, labor costs, material costs, like every damn cost is going up. And then you factor that in with inflation, many people not wanting to spend as much nowadays, resulted in a weaker than expected revenue growth for the company. And they did not provide EBITDA guidance for fiscal year 2022, explaining that because the pandemic, inflationary pressures, and the Russian-Ukraine war puts us in a situation where it's quite difficult to assess where we'll be. I remember when I first started seeing Oatly brand of products was actually at Starbucks, and then the supermarket started having it, and recently I've seen it being sold in some stores in Singapore, so that's really cool. But for Oatly, they need to figure out a way to spend their cash wisely, because right now they're kind of burning through cash and having troubles ramping up production to meet demand. And there's also more competition in the market for oat milk, so their market share in the US has been declining. So while they had strong sales in 2021, revenue of $643.2 million, a 52.6% increase, Asia revenue of $126.9 million, a 136.5% increase, they had weak earnings, a negative 0.13 EPS, earnings per share. We're definitely seeing more and more people shift to plant-based food diets, so this is another buy and hold for me. Number 9 on this list, and 4 out of 5 stocks under $15 to buy, is SDC, Smell Direct Club. And it is an alternative to traditional braces and Invisalign, and their cost is much lower than Invisalign, like $2,000 compared to like $5,000 for Invisalign. And they recently launched a new product, whitening strips, that's now being sold at Walmart. And they also expanded to Europe in 2019 and opened their first France Smile shop in Paris. The issue I have with SDC is that they're burning a lot of money on marketing, and expenses rose 25% in Q4 2021, and they had a loss of $336 million in 2021, which was much higher than analyst estimations. Total revenue also decreased. They also have to compete with Invisalign, which is a more established company than SDC. However, SDC is projecting a 28.1% growth for the next 5 years compared with the industry's projected growth rate of 12.5%. So the last on this list, and 5 out of 5 stocks under $15 to buy, is Palantir. And this is one business that is not easy to wrap your head around to understand. And this is why a lot of investors are not investing in this company, because you're not supposed to buy a company that you don't understand. So in a nutshell, what Palantir does is to make powerful AI data analytics platforms that are being used by companies and government agencies. And it's interesting to know that it was Palantir's technology that helped locate Osama bin Laden in 2011. They're still in the early stages of growth, much like a startup, even though they've been around for like 19 years. They recently went public in 2020, and their stock price right now is very close to their IPO price. I think this would be a hate it or love it kind of stock, much like Tesla, because some people believe that Palantir is evil just because they're huge advocates of surveillance. And the problem with Palantir is that a lot of their contracts aren't actually revealed because the work that they do is sensitive, and a lot of these companies are required to sign an NDA, non-disclosure agreement. And if you remember NSA whistleblower Edward Snowden, he said that Palantir helped create the NSA global spy program. The narrative around Palantir is they have been slow in commercial growth. However, the commercial side still increased 47.2% on a year-over-year basis to $194.4 million and continued gaining momentum from previous quarters. Palantir added 34 new customers and closed at 63 deals worth over $1 million during the quarter. They had a record high of $39 last January, and right now the stock is at $8. Regardless, I have been buying this stock at about 9, 10, 8, 7, and hopefully they stay under $10 for a longer period of time so I can build up my position. And this is another long-term buy and hold for me unless they go up too fast, too quickly. And there are other stocks that are near or at its 52-week lows that I'm still looking into. like SoFi, a popular personal finance stock among millennials, Coinbase, the world's largest crypto exchange, Etsy, Zillow, Fubo TV, Tattooed Chef, Honest Company, Roblox, AMD, Lemonade, just to name a few. I'm also interested in shorting some stocks, some housing stocks like KB Homes and Toll Brothers, if it goes up too much again. And before I end this video, I have a quick advice for you. Volatility and bear markets transfers well from those who can't handle it to those who can. Even if your favorite stocks are down right now, you shouldn't lose sleep over it, right? Just because you're down overall in the market doesn't mean you made a bad choice. So don't sell out based purely on fear. Take a look at the company's fundamentals again, right? If everything still makes sense and you still have a high conviction of the company and it's on discount right now, then you should just buy more. And with the stock market taking a hit, my stocks are down too, right? Sure, I'd love for my stocks to like 10x overnight, but that's not how the stock market works. If you somehow want a stock to magically 10x overnight, then maybe the stock market isn't for you. To succeed in the stock market, you need to be able to think logically so you don't make the wrong moves based on emotions, and you need to have the patience and do your homework. Can you imagine like the people who were new to the stock market during the Coconut pandemic, and they got used to the quick gains and how they would feel when they can't get that anymore in 2022? I can guarantee you that most of those people are just gonna quit the stock market thinking like, oh, the stock market isn't for them. But it's always about the long term. That's why the buy and hold strategy works best for most people, just like how you would with an index fund. I hope you guys appreciate me going through the stocks I've just mentioned and sharing with you what stocks I'm buying and why, and what stocks I'm interested in and at which price point I'll consider buying them. So do me a favor and smash the like button, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell icon so you get notified whenever I post a new video. And let me know in the comments down below what other stocks you're considering or have already bought. I would love to hear from you. And guys, when I'm not making videos on YouTube, I'm usually on Instagram, so feel free to follow me on Instagram if you're interested to know what's happening in my life. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you again next time.